Buffer.
What's up, Duelist? In the middle of the warm. What's up, Duelist? This is not the 6th time we've done a take on this intro.
Fuck yeah.
Top 8 Decklists from RBET4 Season 3. I'm here with Swagger, aka Juan. He did a lot of the commentary with me. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure and check out his upcoming tournament series. These are your players. Raikoko actually ended up placing in first. He won the Grand Finals reset versus Jerbear. So Jerbear ended with 2 losses, I think. Yeah. Raikoko beat him. Had to beat him twice.
Twice.
Yes, Raikoko should.
And it was wild.
Raikoko has 2 more wins here. He has 2 more wins. So he ended the tournament 10-1, which is very impressive. Another very impressive record was Mr. Sippy, who lost round 1, then won 10 in a row to make it to 5th place, which is really, really insane. So really cool stuff. A lot of good lists. A lot of solid stuff. The play of this tournament was really high caliber.
I agree. There were like very minute mistakes, and then every time a mistake happened, it got punished. Like
exactly.
If you guys watch the VOD, watch the finals,
check it out.
Yeah,
check it out.
We were losing our minds.
Hear our commentary.
Chat was losing their minds as well. It was crazy.
Chat was going crazy. Okay. Before we get into things though, RBETs are coming up. RBET Los Angeles is already sold out. That's coming up next weekend. Make sure you're subscribed so you can watch it, and then RBET Laurel, Maryland is going to be the biggest capacity Edison format tournament all year. Make sure you are signed up for it. You don't want to miss out on it.
All time since SJC Edison.
Literally all time. So that, and then September 21st, RBET New York. So you can find signups for Laurel, Maryland and RBET New York in the description below. Let's just get into the decks. Just get into one.
Let's go. Top 8.
Top 8. So I believe it's like tied for 6th place or whatever.
No, it is top 8. It's 7th and 8th place.
But they don't place like that in double elimination. It's like you have 2 6ths, 2 5ths, and then... Okay, top 8. We've got some Average Joe. Average Joe playing a very Average Joe Blackwing list.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought that this would be the Blackwing build of some Average Joe 23?
Yes. Solid list. Nothing to say about it. It's very average.
Dude, I mean, he went the 1 Crow, 1 Transmite build.
You must have watched a video on it or something.
Yeah. Gore's in the side. Because we're maining 1 oppression here, siding the 2nd oppression.
You could side out the oppression. Standard. You could forward the Gores or whatever.
He's got 3 total copies of Dust Tornado. I'm liking a main deck Dust Tornado personally. I'm doing this most in my decks. 1 Dust in the main, 2-sided.
Have you ever played Trunade in Blackwings?
No, I have not.
I played Trunade right now.
Over the Dust?
Over the Dust, yeah, and it's really good. Because you can just like Trunade, resolve your Whirlwind, and then just be good to go.
Yeah.
It's also nice to like if you need to pick up an oppression and go for game.
That's true. I think I like Dust primarily because like of rampant Blackwing users. Like I like having the Dust for the Black Whirlwind. Yeah. You know, like that. It just. If both players have Black Whirlwind, but only one player has a Dust Tornado for it, like
you're cooking.
Yeah, you're cooking.
You're cooking for sure. Also, I think you could play like a Starlight Road in that slot too. There's a bunch of like random shit you can play. Book of Moon in that slot.
It conflicts with Royal Oppression a little bit, but yeah, I see
a little bit. Yeah,
I see it. My body. No, I'm just kidding.
Anyway, congratulations to some Average Joe. It shows that you don't need to be anything but average to top 8 in
That's all you need. All you need is that first card right there on the top left.
Next, DAD 8th place or top 8 list is Christine, 4173, and she was also playing Blackwings, but she's got that giant Trunade. So
she's got the Trunade.
She's also got the Book of Moon.
She's on 2 Vayu.
2 Vayu. So was Average Joe. They were both on 2 Vayu.
Gotcha.
Yes. Spirit Reaper, very good card in the main.
I like Spirit Reaper.
Yeah,
Spirit Reaper in there.
Great card to play in the main, especially with the Trunade. You Trunade them, Spirit Reaper, rip the back. Oh, so nice.
It's great.
Love the Spirit Reaper tech. Love Legacy of Yatagrasu.
Yeah.
Very high on that card. It is a tournament winning card, so.
Also going the 1 oppression in the main side, 2 Dust in the side, went double DD Crow as opposed to the 1 and 1. Also 1 Cyber Dragon like the other, siding a 2nd Book of Moon, siding My Body as a shield.
You like My Body as a shield. You said this card was gonna overperform this weekend.
Yeah,
it
did one thing. It won 1 game that we saw on stream,
but it also got a top 8 placement, so that's pretty fucking good. I'd say that's pretty good.
I'll take it.
Side extra deck standard. Fucking yeah, but the sideboard is interesting. I mean, siding the 2nd book is interesting too for like probably for the mirror for other aggro matchups like Glads.
Yeah.
Can come in. Glads have been...
And if you guys were watching day one, Glads were kind of going crazy for a little bit there at chat.
Yeah, they were going crazy until people realized that they were playing against Gladiator Beasts.
Yeah,
and
they
destroyed them.
woke up and they're like, wait, why don't I just summon a 1900 monster?
There was a game where the Gladiator Beast player was up 5 cards to 1 and lost to Blackwings. I was just like, well... And it was funny because like the chat was like, Keegan, you gotta stop hating on Glads. And then like immediately that happened.
That was
right
like the Blackwing player had to like oppression themselves.
Yes.
And still won.
And they still won. It was so funny. Oh, man. Anyway.
It was great. So,
on to the next. Definitely check out the VOD. Once again, congratulations to Christine. I believe it is their first top 8 as well. So, good shit. TrueNade, don't sleep on it.
Don't sleep on it.
This
top 6.
Top 6, yes. We got Mr. Sippy. Once again, if we...
crazy tournament run.
Look at his record. Fucking insane. Going 10-1 with this deck.
Having 10 match wins in a row.
Yeah,
is insane.
Going 10-0 is hard. Going 10-0
is so hard.
A feat.
And
that
straight, like you're just sitting at your computer and staring at the screen 10 in a row.
Yes.
That's incredible. Congrats.
This deck is sick. This deck looks super, super good.
Yeah, what's that card right there next to Stratos?
That's Gemini Lancer. It's an 1800, 400 Gemini water monster. Sea Serpent type. You can normal summon it to give it piercing. It's just a water target for Spark, basically.
Makes sense.
Gives you an extra water. Means you don't have to play 2 Ocean. Ocean's kind of shitty. The second one is, at least. So, it's just another way to keep your Sparks alive. One of the biggest issues with this deck, when I play it at least, is that I'll draw Spark, but I won't draw an Alias, or my Alias will already be dead. And you draw Spark, and you're just like, whoa.
Where am I going to be able to... Did this... Was Mr. Sippy eliminated by... Giant Turbo?
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Dude, yeah, those Thunder Kings in the main still couldn't get it.
Yeah, still couldn't get there. His sideboard does have Consecrated, which could have come in versus Dragon Turbo, but almost nothing else.
Nothing else, yeah. Nobody was ready.
I guess pulling the rug is like for debris. Or it can also hit Vortex Trooper.
Oh, it could. It could.
Yeah,
and then they draw a card.
Do they draw a card? If it's destroyed anyway?
Destroyed.
So if they
deck DB, in hand. Yep.
God damn, that card is nice.
It's so nice.
That's actually so nice. Anyway,
heavy in the side. Heavy in the side.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's got fucking 22 back row. Like,
what is 23? 22 back row GKs and main deck. Heavy.
Yeah,
I like it.
That is a crazy decision. He's got double dust in the main, though.
Yeah. That's true.
He has plenty of back row removal, but I think you could, like, cut a dust for a heavy and it wouldn't change much.
2 Miracle. I mean...
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, he doesn't have divas.
I know, but he's got 2 Snowmen, he's got the Ocean, he's got the Gemini Lancer too.
Future Fusion.
I don't know. That's like the payoff card, but I get it. I mean, Mr. Sippy is top 6, and I'm over here just looking at his deck list. So
Miracle Fusion can brick. It can also make you weaker to Royal Oppression than you need to be.
That you already... Yeah, you're right.
It's like one of, 3 cards in this deck that lose to Royal Oppression, so... You could even side them out. I think in one of his matches we saw him go through almost all of his deck, and it looked like he had sided out some of his Miracle Fusions, or all of them. So that's pretty cool. I do like Thunder King's main.
I like Thunder King.
I think Thunder King's really good right now. It's good versus Blackwings, which is very popular again. Spoiler alert. It's good versus Glads, which is up in popularity.
Good in Edison.
What else is Thunder King good? Oh, it's good against we'll get to it.
We'll get to it. Against the best deck in the format.
Yeah, exactly, right? But yeah, sideboard, cool stuff. A lot of hateful cards, triple knock for the Rykos.
Dude, why are you playing Pulling the Rug? Frog's not real.
Yeah, Frog is not real.
Frog's not real.
Frog's not real. All right, next deck.
All right, congrats.
Samu, 6th place. Vayu Turbo. Congrats to Samu. Very strong player. Have you played against him before?
Yeah. I usually play him in different formats, but I think I reached out to Samu because I wanted him on my 3v3 team for Vegas, but he wasn't traveling. But yeah, he's a very, very good player, very powerful duelist, and across multiple formats. So it's great to see him performing well in Edison as well. Yeah, he's a really strong player, and I think if you give him any deck, he's going to do well. We saw him have a really intense game with Return, I believe. Yes.
We saw him have a couple of really, really intense games on camera. But this list looks like a list we've been seeing for a very long time.
Yeah, the double Arma, double Grapher.
Double Hamster.
This looks very familiar to Eric's list.
Yeah, it might be. This looks
very close to it because I think the only change was the charge and charge for the hamster, and that's like a big discussion amongst players. And it's like if you expect a lot of Black Wings or Hero Beat, you play the second hamster instead of charge. And if you're expecting like a lot of Value Turbo, you play the charge instead of the second hamster.
I think overall, I'm a bigger fan of charge because it's just a power card.
Yeah.
And I think cutting power cards for
Normal set.
yeah, extra flip effect monsters is not
Oh, no,
a good way to make your quote unquote turbo deck even slower. But it worked out well for Semu, so good stuff. And yeah, obviously you must have played against a bunch of Black Wings for that second hamster to come in handy.
Yeah,
so.
it's got double deck heavy. I like the Mind Crush. And another My Body. Another My Body. Ugh.
Your body just
Our
keeps
body.
winning. Our body now.
Our body.
All right, next top 4. Getting into it. But before we get into it, subscribe. Oh, get it. You get baited. All right,
I got
top
him.
4.
Fourth
Ludovico.
place.
Hella Black Wings in this
Fourth
tournament.
place.
Fourth place.
Yeah, this is the third and final. Spoiler alert.
Oh, just breaks the fucking
breaks
entire
my
setup.
phone.
Yeah. Ludovico, Triple Legacy, Single Book of Moon. I love his list. He's been playing this deck forever, and I don't think he's ever placed like lower than top 4 in a
Yeah,
tournament.
something like that.
He's just a very good player. Like, he's on a different level. He's on a different level. What's up?
Go ahead.
You're making me awkward. You're making this awkward. Making this awkward.
You're seeing a lot of the same side deck cards. Like, I'm seeing just Cyber Dragon, False Dynat, DDV, Knock, DD Crow pulling every single list. Every single list maybe
Exactly.
has had those exact cards in the side deck.
One thing that is interesting is like as Edison has like kind of progressed, like the side deck homogenization, like you said, is like it's not something I expected. I expected more like deck homogenization, but seeing everybody's side deck, even deck to deck, like
Yes.
this is like the same side deck you would see on like 6 different decks.
Yes.
This is definitely not something I would have expected to see in Edison format, especially a format this deep that has such a wide variety of like rivalry, like fucking goes in, like a bunch of crazy sideboard cards you can play.
But I mean, when we get to the next 3 deck lists, it might be why those decks overperformed, because look at what they're preparing for and look what they didn't prepare for. You see a lack of certain
Yes.
side deck cards, and it just goes to show like, yeah, you don't respect those decks.
They're gonna fuck your
Decks
shit.
are gonna fuck your shit.
Exactly. One thing that's interesting, second knock over mind control. I don't like that. I actually think that that's wrong. I think you should just absolutely have the mind control.
Mind control's so powerful, so versatile.
So fucking broken. Like that is just.
Not only does it fuck the face down set turn 1 card, but like
It's a win con. Like
Yeah.
you just take something synchro with it. Like you can take face ups. Like you can take dad. It can,
you can take Dad, you can take JD. You can, yeah.
It's just such an insane card that I don't think it's worth ever playing the second knock over mind control.
Unless you're playing 2 knocks and a mind control.
Yeah,
You just go
totally.
full send.
Only 2 Icarus is interesting.
Yeah, that. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I don't know. It worked out well for him. 4th place is good. 3rd place, we've got Spooner Boy with Value Turbo.
Boy.
With a much more aggressive Value Turbo list. This is more the kind of list that I would play. Like this is a list that
The gas version.
it's very similar to the list that I've played on the channel before with Triple Greffer, Elfin, and Charge in the main. I also am a big fan of Book of Moon.
I love Book of Moon. You just turn your Armor Masters into real Armor Masters.
That is one of the biggest
Especially
upsides.
with Elfin.
Yeah.
Since you're maining Elfin, you're making Armor Master more often.
Exactly.
And like, oh, it gets bottomless. Well, look, I just Book of Mooned it, so I 1-for-1 with the bottomless, and now my Armor Master's real.
Yeah.
You can't attack over it. Like, good luck.
This is a fucking crazy card. Book of Moon is really, really good in this deck. And I think it's also really, really good against Black Wings, which is the #1 most played deck. So having those obviously helped Spooner Boy get to 3rd place and helped him defeat Black Wings in the loser side of the bracket and get through those matchups. I also think it's really interesting that he made room for the double hamster as well.
As well as the charge.
Yeah, I think that's a really interesting choice.
He wants to just get to as much milling as he can, like
Yeah.
thin his deck. And dude, the side deck though. See, now this is different. Now we're seeing decrees.
I was about to say, yeah.
Hitting the side. We have the mind control over the knock. We have a card destruction for
Dragon
further
Turbo.
turbo.
For Dragon
further
Turbo.
turbo. And then we have 3 deck devies. He's gonna see those deck devies.
Yeah, dude. This is an amazing deck.
I really like this.
This is like what the future of Value Turbo looks like to me personally. Like I think like the Elfin and the double book to get that book to Armor Master is it's just so smart. It's so smart. Card destruction to deck out Dragon Turbo, bro.
Noticeably, so we got our Chaos Sorcerer. The only thing I don't like, do you know what I don't like about this deck?
No return?
No return,
Yeah.
dude. It's all gas, and then just like could have just overfilled the gas tank. We could have just went a little bit more gas and have an extra win con after they deal with your cards, or if they somehow survive off of your initial push. Having a second push like that is like sometimes needed. And who knows if like, that return could have like done something and got him into that grand finals.
If you don't have Dark Armed, or if you don't have like Burial, like the deck is fairly underpowered. I mean, this one has a little bit more power because of that Elfin and because of the Chaos Sorcerer, but you can kind of get like overpowered by like Synchro decks making a Stardust or making a Judgment Dragon or something. But with that return, you can find that late game, like you said, that extra push. So, what would you cut for return from this list? Like, if you were to personally take this list and change it?
I mean, it could be the hamster. It really could be the hamster, but let me see. Just initially looking, hamster Lila?
I would cut a Caius.
Caius is an option. I would probably put it behind.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'd probably put it behind. Caius would probably be third.
You think hamster would go before the second Caius?
I think so, because with two hamster, three Raikou, you definitely, like, Caius is always gonna, or very often, have something to tribute for.
Yeah, I could see that. I can see that for sure.
And you're like maining triple deck Devi, like that Caius is another deck Devi target. I'm not saying that they have struggle at all to put something up 2K, like Chaos Sorcerer and all your guys, but return needs to be on there because like you're turboing so fast. You're playing 3 Dark Reffers and only 1 Armageddon Knight. You're gonna get your values to the grave. You're gonna be banishing for value effect. You're gonna be banishing for Chaos Sorcerer summon. Like, return is just so powerful here, and
maybe just 41 and play the return.
That's when you know like you're missing a card. Is when Keegan says 41 cards will be fine if that 41st card
legit
is
think,
return.
Like, you either cut, because if you cut the hamster, then you don't really want the second Caius because this is a very turbo build.
You're right.
And if you cut Sirocco, then you make your triple Greffer a little bit worse.
No, it would be Lila's my 2 behind hamster.
Lila's too fucking good. I think you would cut hamster.
It's another normal.
Yeah, but you would cut hamster before you cut Lila because it gives you the charge versatility, and it improves your Chaos Sorcerer too.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Well,
Lila also helps you versus like compulsory and shit like that. I don't know, but this is a really cool deck.
One hamster, 1 Sork, put return and 1 other card in there. I don't know what else you would put.
But you wouldn't cut Sork for return.
Not Sork. Caius.
Oh, Caius.
One hamster, 1 Caius for return, and one
other
random card. Card destruction. Just fucking go full turbo.
Yeah, main the mind control, something like that.
Oh, dude, I would love a main mind control, honestly.
Or a main like.
No, you're cooking too hard.
We're cooking. Okay, second place.
Main deck DD Crow, baby.
Congratulations to Spooner Boy. Really sick list.
Yeah, man. We just talked about it for like forever. And it's a value turbo deck. And that's how you know it's sick.
That's how you know it's sick. Jared Bear, second place. Pure Light Sworns. We've never seen Pure Light Sworns get this far in an RBET before. So, clearly he did something right. What do you think about this list?
Dude, triple Celestia. There's a reason, like, we were wondering, too, like, every single time he had a Lightsworn monster survive, we're like, oh, Celestia would hit hard here. And then it came down, and we're like, wow, he always has it. Yeah, no, look at the deck list. It makes full sense.
Triple Celestia, triple Lila, triple Wolf, triple Raikou, just maxing all the good Lightsworns.
Double Glorious Illusion, double Decree in the main deck.
Yep, he said fuck trap cards. He has Cold Wave and Storm as well.
Yeah, he knew freaking Blackwings were going to be crazy, and he has the Decree for them.
Yeah. Glorious Illusion also helps support the triple Celestia, so you can have the tribute fodder.
Yes.
So you could go like Emphase, Glorious Illusion, then go sack for Celestia, pop 2 cards. That's pretty strong.
Glorious Illusion for Lila, activate effect, hit a card, summon Celestia. It's crazy.
One thing that's interesting, though, is like he's playing 2 Glorious Illusion, no call.
Yeah, no call, and call is just... it's not strictly better.
Because it doesn't mill. Yeah,
it does mill. And no beckoning. So like because of the lack of beckoning, he compensates with using 2 monster incarnation, because he didn't want to
lose out on not having JD basically. Yeah.
He didn't want to have to conflict with his own Decree.
That too.
Decree is huge. And then in the side deck, I'm seeing 2 My Body as a shield.
You were cooking. You were cooking. 2 My Body's a shield.
And brain control in the side.
One thing that I think really shined about his list was his sideboard. Because, like, every match we watched...
Dude, Consecrated was fucking cooking.
Triple Consecrated was in every single game. And it, like, won him so many games. And then on top of that, Iron Wall and Oppression came in. And if he
just...
made the Stardust... Oh, no spoilers, no spoilers,
Wait,
no spoilers.
Oh, look, there's a Stardust Dragon in his main deck. Huh, it's crazy.
That is crazy. It's crazy. Think there would be one there.
Yeah,
you know what's crazy, too, is, like, maybe he was scared to get the Plague banished, but Plague's not going to get banished if you have...
I don't know.
Well, interesting indeed.
Maybe, it's okay. We're
giving him a hard time.
He already feels like shit probably looking back at the replays.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, Stardust Dragon 2+2+4.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all good. There may be a reason we just don't know. I didn't see the replay, didn't see what's in his hand, but
his hand. We didn't know.
The rest of his games that we watched, like it was very rare that we saw him make a mistake.
Yeah.
And like his play, obviously, like in order to win an event, you have to get lucky sometimes, or be in the finals of an event, you have to be lucky a little bit. And yeah, sure, he got lucky, but he also played out of his mind the entire tournament that we watched. So yeah, congrats to him.
He drew so fucking hot. But one more thing. These Royal Decrees are like floodgates. Look at this. He's got 2 of those, 2 Oppression, 2 Mask, 2 Iron Wall. You can just switch your floodgate for whatever matchup you want. That's so smart.
Yep.
That's fucking genius deck building right there. And then if you need 2 of these floodgates, like let's say you want Iron Wall, Oppression, Glorious Illusion, and Royal Decree come out, and you bring in those. Perfect. It's fucking really, really smart deck building. This is really, really sick deck to see. Congrats to Jer Bear. And then, of course, first place, Raikoko playing Dragon Turbo.
Do we know how many Dragon Turbos total were in the event?
Yeah, it was like 3.
Dude,
yeah.
3 of them. Yeah. 33% of the decks won.
Dude, this deck is insane. Dragon Turbo is so good, and like you were saying, nobody respects this shit.
Nobody respects, dude, and they still won't. They're gonna watch this and they're gonna be like, "That won't happen against me."
This is the 3rd RBET Dragon Turbo has won.
3rd that it's won, dude.
First place.
It's won. First place.
What the fuck? That's crazy.
Champion,
and it usually wins the hard ones too. Like it won the SoCal IRL. Yeah. Ghost Rider won the fucking stacked one online, and this is another stacked as fuck one online too.
So I'm seeing there's no Gores, but they're just playing Trag, which is solid.
Yeah.
I was like, not an accidental zoom.
Intentional.
Yeah. So this looks pretty standard. Keegan, you mentioned.
Yes.
Oh no, the cursed Tragoedia, the demonio. But dude, like. Super Rejuvenation is just so stupid of a card. So there were like some questions that we had about his deck when we were watching him. Like, is he playing 2 instant fusions or just 1? He played 2. If he was main decking, what was the other card we were wondering about? Oh, that he was playing both Heavy Storm and True Nade. And
yes,
he did because he wanted to be able to, whenever he has a game shot. Or has a play to push through.
You might need 2 sweepers and not want to excavate for 1. Yeah, of course.
So, and he did it.
1 Vortex Trooper, I like that choice. I think the second one's kind of a brick.
I agree. And then in the side deck, we have 1 Consecrated Light. Wow.
For Blackwings.
Yeah. A single Prime Material Dragon, so not in the main, obviously, but it comes in when need be. And Clear Vice Dragon. That one, that we saw it a couple times. Obviously, it never was able to do anything. But like he had the option. He would have it in the graveyard, and he had a red empty, so he had the option to use it. Or the opponent saw it and they realized like, okay, this is a possibility. I have to play a little bit differently.
Yeah, exactly.
And then a bunch of floods in the trap cards.
Mono purple cards.
Yeah, just Mask Restrict. Big wonder why there's a big missing in action from Hero Frogs.
Yeah,
or Frogs in general.
Well, they side out. The thing is, they side out their Heavy Storm because like, what are you gonna do? Keeping your Heavy Storm against fucking.
You have to because you assume pulling or Mask Restrict coming in.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then they have 2 decrees for trap heavy decks, 2 oppressions for like you put up any board, any big monster, and then you
Blue Eyes Oppression is fucking crazy.
Already is broken. And then you have the 2 broken sweeper traps that people don't respect because they're like, oh, it's Reckless Greed, herp derp, and let me attack.
Because they try to rush you. Like, that's how you have to play against the deck. Like, you're forced to play into sweepers.
I mean, we saw we saw Ghost Rider playing on stream. And against Ragnarok, right? And
we actually have that
put 3 monsters, 3 monsters on the board, attack position, attacked into Dragon Turbo,
And
it
Ghost
was
Rider had the Mirror
Force.
Force, yeah.
Mirror Force, so
and it
like,
just went off every single time he drew it. Also, I think Raikoko drew it once and it went off as well. I think it was Torrential, but not Mirror Force. But yeah, same thing. Like, people will overcommit into shit, and that's that. The Clear Vice is interesting too because it's also a trade-in target. So it's like kind of a third Lightning Vortex in a sense.
Yeah.
But it's also helps you with your draw engine. Deck looks solid.
Utility, yeah. I mean, Trident Dragon, dude. Like, that made an appearance, and...
The one thing I'm not certain about still, the one thing I still don't fully understand is Ojama Knight.
Over
Mariner. I feel like Mariner is just better because of Drago. Because Ojama Knight is light, and if you need a ladder into Bryonic to out another Drago...
Can Mariner be... What's its attack?
It's 14.
It can't be debris.
But it can't be... When are you ever debris dragoning in Ojama Knight? Like, I feel like that's gonna come up less than your opponent having a Drago in play.
I'm just saying.
I could be wrong, and I might be wrong, but I feel like if your opponent has Drago in play and you need to make Bryonic to out it, because if you look at this deck, game 1, I summon a Drago. How do you out it? Game 1. This deck has 0 fucking outs.
Set debris
and pray,
and then set.
Literally just
Vortex Trooper, and then Tribute for Blue Eyes.
Yeah, literally. You have to set 2 debris in a row and hope they don't have like a DD Warrior Lady or an out or something like that. Like this deck...
I mean, Instant Fusion plus debris...
Is Black Rose, okay. But it's not Bryonic. So it like forces you to spend your resources.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have great outs to a Drago game 1. Like, you could set Flamvogard too.
All I'm saying is not strictly better, but yes, I see the point.
Yeah, it's just like, why would you have that auto loss when you could just have an option to go into Mariner and make a Bryonic at neutral cards because of the way Whitestone works? And yeah, I don't know. Interesting deck. Really solid performance from Raikoko.
Yeah.
What would you recommend people side against this deck in the future, Swagger? Because you've had to play against this deck a lot. What do you think has had the most success for you to...
Deck Devi for sure has had the most success for me. I know you're a big fan of Thunder King Ryo.
He's hella good.
It just stops most of their stuff. Like, okay, they're going to cards consonants, pitch their stone.
But then they can't
do
search.
Nothing. Yeah, do nothing with that. Their trade-ins are dead. Or, it hurts them a lot. But I like Deck Devi personally because not only am I getting rid of their Trag in hand, which is like their only form of defense really. If they have Gores, I'll see it. But like, if they want to try and go off or they want to try and like do something with their turn, they're risking, with every draw, they're risking losing that card. I like Mind Crush a lot too. Mind Crush has been working really well because you see a small dragon get summoned and you just know that's going to be followed up with a Red Eyes, so you can hit them there. If you have Trap Dust Shoot, obviously, if they're under Deck Devi, obviously good synergy. If they consonants away a stone, they have Blue Eyes and you want to avoid getting trade-ins, you can do that.
Here's my question for you though with Mind Crush, because this is what I've struggled with in playing against this deck with Mind Crush is if your opponent activates a sweeper, what are you Mind Crushing? They have nothing in play.
They're just storm.
They just go heavy storm. What are you Mind Crushing?
Probably a draw spell.
Yeah, you would just blind name a draw spell.
Most likely.
And what if you miss?
If I miss, like I'm assuming I'm dying if they're using a sweeper or like putting enough pressure on where like this one random card in my hand is not gonna like win me the game, whereas I can stop them from doing what they're gonna do, and potentially like live now.
For sure. Yeah, that's been my biggest issue. That's been my biggest issue with it. Or like they'll like go for their plays and then you'll like Mind Crush Red Med and you'll look at their hand as a bunch of draw spells. Like they'll go like whatever. If
they're summoning stone and then I'm Mind Crushing and I call Red Med and there's no Red Med in there, I'm cool with it.
But here's the thing. If your Mind Crush is still in play after they've summoned debris, that could have been another trap card that just stopped the debris. So that's my thought process here is Mind Crush is only ever going to be used in response to a sweeper to be better than another trap card. Does that make sense?
I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't think it's strictly worse than a better trap or quote unquote better trap card when in response to, like, for example, the debris summon, because if I stop the debris summon, the red eyes is still a lingering threat that I'm eventually gonna have to deal with. Whereas if I mind crush it, I don't care that the debris and the X monster that it summoned is on the field. Like, I got rid of the 2800 guy that's going to keep recurring bigger guys, and now I just deal with a attack position debris. Sure, he's going to search again from the stone that he just summoned, but I'm cool with that. Those are going to be blue eyes in hands that are not going to be summoned from the red eyes. Especially, dude, if I hit 2 red eyes, I feel so good.
Well, the thing is like, I'm saying, like, if they're going for the play into your Mind Crush, and you have that opportunity to Mind Crush red eyes, that means they haven't sweepered. And in that opportunity, if they haven't sweepered you, then wouldn't other trap cards be better there than the Mind Crush?
For example,
like if let's say oppression, torrential,
I mean, I'm
like pulling the rug even,
as well.
fucking bottomless to a degree.
Yeah,
like,
see, like Mind Crush versus pulling the rug, I'd pick Mind Crush.
Even think about it this way: if they're not sweeping you, and you have like Mirror Force, you know what I mean?
But Mind Crush will never be in there instead of Mirror Force. It'll be there in addition to Mirror Force. I'm never citing out Mirror Force for Mind Crush.
Okay, for sure. Yeah, that's just something I was thinking, like, wouldn't it be better to have a different sideboard card than Mind Crush in that instance? Because of the only time Mind Crush really hits for me is when they don't have a sweeper.
Yeah.
And if they don't have a sweeper, then other trap cards are generally better. But if they do have a sweeper, then you're just blind crushing, and it's like another layer of gambling into an already gambly matchup, which I just would prefer to have something more consistent. Even something like a Dark Bribe in my sideboard I would rather have, because that can at least stop a draw spell. That can at least stop a rejuve. Like, whereas Mind Crush is like...
Dude, bribing rejuve feels so good.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, yeah, take your fucking card.
They card destruction, they go super minus, they excavate, and then you dark bribe the excavation, and they're just like, oh, fuck.
That's so good.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, there goes your hand, bro.
Yeah,
it's like hand looping your opponent. So, I don't know. I think that there's consideration to Mind Crush, because, like, in my experience, every time I draw Mind Crush against Dragon Turbo, I'm, like, forced to either blind call something and gamble, or, like, what is the other, or they just don't draw a sweeper and then another trap card would be better. So food for thought. Anyway, really good tournament, really interesting stuff.
Definitely.
I'll see you guys in the next vid. Thank you for joining me, Swagger, for this entire tournament.
Yeah, happy to be here, man.
And thank you guys for watching these events and making them happen and playing in them and shit. Peace.